Hey guys, Annie here. Welcome back to the channel and welcome to another speed build. This is our final pack restrictive build in the series and it is a clothing store. So this is for the expansion pack Get to Work and obviously base game. And today's build is a clothing store. I would say that it's kind of like a clothing and homewares based store, and I do feel that it's more of a upscaled, sophisticated, pricey store in the area. I feel that and looking back at this particular build and looking at the content that we've done, it does look like a home, and I do feel like Tuesday's build looked like a home as well. That is a bakery / cafe. It is available now on the channel if you'd like to go and watch that build. This build is also available on the Sims 4 gallery. My gallery ID is Antoinette44, which is in the description below. So if you've enjoyed this content, if you've enjoyed these pack restricted builds and this series, let me know in the comment section down below and consider subscribing. It does help me out. I am planning March content, and we are looking into base game builds. So it looks like we're going to have a month of base game builds, base game only builds. I'm still sticking with the pack restrictive. Well, it's kind of pack restrictive. It's base game only. And I'm having a ball. So I've done a whole bunch of floor plans that I've mapped out. And that content should be exciting. So a little bit on this build. So we have basically, done the main layout of the build. I really wanted to have these side windows. I could have actually had these at the front. Looking back at it now, it would have made a little bit more sense to have it front facing the mannequins, but it works. So, you've got some children's stuff in here. You've got there's male, female. So I feel like it's I don't know. It's a weird store. I've not built a clothing store before with this pack. So I did have a lot of fun mapping out where I wanted to put the fitting rooms. So this particular room is the changing rooms. You then have the toilets around the back. You then also have a faux car park at the back of the build, so we'll get to that later, but that was a lot of fun. And I knew I wanted the counter to be very central. I wanted you to walk in, have a couple of displays, and then a counter. I had to think back to my retail days and how they lay things out. That was interesting. And then in the bathrooms, because I ended up separating them and having a male and a female bathroom, and then I've used these panta plots that I love. So I mentioned these on Tuesday's build, one of my favorite items from this pack. I love all the signs. And in Tuesday's video I did mention that there was some modern furniture, like a couch set, that I've used here that I feel you could actually use in other builds, other homes, and I really enjoy that. I use the French doors in this particular build. They're the doors that I love. So the French doors and that kind of lounge set are probably the only items I use on a regular from this particular pack. But I still think it's a solid pack. I still think that, especially if I hear the gameplay is amazing. I've not done much with the gameplay of this pack. Maybe that's something that I'll need to go and do. But just the little details. I like all the little items, like the hand sanitizer, the towel thing, the fire extinguisher, the signage, these pots, plants, the mannequins. It just has very staple items that you could use across the board, and paired with other packs, even newer packs like Crystal Creations, or I think even potentially Dine Out, or Get Together, and that the cafes and the clubs and the nightclubs you could build. I just feel like some of these items would definitely pair well with other types of packs that have very strong community lots. So not my favorite pack, but definitely one that, it could be up there. It could be something that you like. It was the first pack that came with The Sims 4. And I do like these pendant lights. So I've used these pendant lights above the counter, and they kind of had that like modern, almost industrial vibe to them. So yeah, I like that. Just fixing the bathrooms. They have the same kind of layout. They're identical. The mirror, I believe, is from the detective their career. Like there's like some stuff that's like for like a jail cell, and I believe they're the mirrors that come with that, which is quite funny. But I like it. And then I put the doors for the toilets. Yeah, just very simple bathrooms. And then I just cluttered up the space. Now, with the change rooms, the reason that I only put a room divider in there is because at the end of the day, like they're gonna, at the end of the day, you're gonna press the mirror and then go into the Creator Sim menu. You're not actually going to, yeah. So I felt that it was fine that it wasn't actually two Pacific rooms like male and female. But anyway, so I just clutter the space up with all of like the clothing items and then some kids stuff and we've got in it was like an event, a base game event that we had a couple of weeks ago, and we got like cushions, and I thought that would be a great item. So I've used that. I've used some of the baby stuff that we got with the infants update. I used that children's play basket that came with the infants update that I use in every build. I didn't really know what to do. And I feel like with those updates and improvements from the base game, it actually made this build a lot better than it would have been had we not had those updates. So I feel like the clothing stores from the original, like if I was to open up a pre-made clothing store from this pack, it wouldn't look as good as mine. Just because like you just didn't have items. They just didn't have the variety of items to put into them. So nowadays you really can build stuff like, and all of the clothing rack items that we've been getting from like high school years or Dream Home Decorator, like all of those things really would make a clothing store just so much better. All right, so we are working on the exterior and finalizing that kind of exterior of the build, I guess, of the shell and the landscaping. Now, it's hard because every time I look at this, I still feel like it looks like a house. It doesn't really look like a community lot, and I did have that issue with Tuesday's build, but you'll have to let me know in the comment section down below. Do you think it was okay? Does it look okay? I'm not sure. I wanted to stick with the kind of monochromatic look from the exterior, that kind of modern look. So I did just do some basic landscaping with some white flowers and greenery. I put in a bench outside. I thought that might be really nice. Again, I've used those really lovely signs that I used in Tuesday's build that I really loved. And then I realized I had so much more room out here than I did on Tuesday's build because this is a bigger lot. So this is the lot that is by default empty when you are in Magnolia Promenade. I've just totally forgot. I didn't say the world. So Magnolia Promenade is the world that came with Get to Work. And it is very controversial because it has 4 lots only. One of them is blank, which is what we are building on today. And yeah, it's not a world that I visit. It kind of just does look like an extension to Willow Creek, which maybe that's the purpose of it. I'm not sure. But yeah. So I start by fencing the area, and then I end up going in with some, I think it's like a black turf, and then I use a fencing tool, and then I map out the car park. I thought that this was a great way to use the space, and I thought that it made a whole lot of sense because what do you do? Like normally in a residential home, I can put a pool and some kid equipment, but this is a clothing store. Like it's not going to have that. So this just made so much sense, and I'm so happy with it. So I've just gone and sized up a whole pile of cars from the children's car models, and yeah, I like it. I think it looks good. And then I put in the bins out the back here, and I just finalize the build. I still don't have wallpaper, so I put in a foundation, and some windows. It's funny because I normally do windows first and then work out the floor plan and how I want to put furniture down, but I kind of did the windows last. So I did have to rearrange a couple of things just so that it made sense and just move some things around. I did like that mirror that came with the pack also. I did struggle a bit with the wallpaper because I was really tempted, and I think I do. I just go in with white. It just makes sense. Like, you've got such a stark black, dark flooring, and then the white, it just kind of makes more sense. All right, and we're just adding in some final decorations down the hallway, down to the back of the property. It's a community lot. And then I am trying to work out what wallpaper I want for the exterior. I decide to go in with a stone, I believe, and a stucco. That's the stucco. I think I go in with the stone at the front, but I could just do, yeah. Or do I add stone all over? Yeah, I just make the whole build stone. That's what I remember. Adding some terrain paint under the landscaping just to kind of add the final touches. And I believe that is it. So we are just heading in to the, are we live in game? Oh no, we're adding some of these wall lights. Now, they're not my favorite, but they're the only ones that kind of looked like they would match, and so I added them. All right, we are live in game, and we are just going through the tour. So you walk in and you have this beautiful opened area. You've got your mannequins, lots of shelves with merchandise. You have that counter in the center. You have that beautiful like little sitting area kind of located near the kids stuff, so I kind of think that makes sense. Down the hall you have your bathrooms. They're both identical. And then you have around the corner you have this kind of changing room, which I've got a sign with a coat hanger that kind of is like, here is the changing room. And then you've got that faux car park out the back, and yeah, I'm just gonna add in some extra flooring. And that is the build today, guys. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below if you've enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for joining me for today, and I hope you have a wonderful day, and I will see you in the next one. Bye-bye for now.